Pay attention. Clear everything from your mind. Listen to me.
Ottawa, Indian word for it carries. Here at the confluence of three rivers, at the meeting place of East and West, rise the spires of Canada's capital, peaceful sentinels watching over the gateway to the northern half of a continent. Outdated buildings give way to new developments. New embassies rise and stately old mansions fly the flags of sovereign nations of the world. In some cases, the romantic past is preserved and refurbished. An important element of the master plan is the Greenbelt. The Gatineau Parkway leads to a wonderful world, a world of changing seasons.
Only the seasons change.
Woo! He's his father's son, all right.
This is Somalia. It is near what the early explorers called the Horn of Africa, where the Red Sea joins the Indian Ocean. It is an old country, with vast distances and little water. Camels and water, they are the two most important things in our lives. We are all believers in Allah the Compassionate. We are mostly nomads. We have no settled homes. We live on the grassy plains. And when we camp, it is the women who must put up the house. Sometimes it gets a little boring.
Riding on the bus says, move on back, move on back.
Skin memories are some of the most important memories of all.
Lead that to the police.
Here in the richest country in the world, we throw him in jail.
A nation that stretches from sea to sea.
Don't open your door to anyone.
They are soon to be untouchable.
What exactly happens when we experience fear?
And this was the market.
Where you have an aggressive businessman expanding his businesses, his capital needs are going to increase, not fall off.
My premiums in 1971
And he has to make some sacrifices.
The women are always working.
Income less than 2/3 the Canadian average.
We all depend on each other, you know.
It sounds simple, doesn't it?
And Ishmael knows where his breakfast comes from.
And what does this mean?
1975, $180.6, an increase of 100% in 5 years.
Think about it.
Well, you're saying, in effect, at this point, if he looks after his profits, everything else will look after themselves.
Well, Ed, you've got the key word, planning for profits.
And the concept of Canada was born.
And sold to our American friends if the government approves of the sale.
And really, there's no excuse for making these unearthly sounds. Leave them out, and what happens? The objectionable sound is gone. And what do we have instead? Nothing. A period of silence that allows the audience to assimilate. And this time, we will add nothing. But we'll add it in the right places. And how can we learn to handle these symptoms? Let's think a moment about paratroopers.
That's the next step of the planning program.
It is all part of a plan of the government and the United Nations.
That sounds interesting. What do we have to do?
It's our policy to be helpful. I think we're ready to move forward now.
Let's go! Come on! Let's hurry up! We do not wait too long, as you've already noticed.
Ishmael had never seen trucks like that before.
It's interesting in the light of how often we force on them everything else that we think is good for them.
Our training period is homework.
It's very difficult to relearn what was instilled in me for so long.
Perhaps it would be the will of Allah. The dream will disappear.
We have a kind of crisis at the moment.
Finding the information you need, organizing it, gaining in confidence.
It is woman's work.
Well,
Now he's faced with some kind of an adjustment. Where does he go from here?
It's lost! It's lost!
I want my mom.
Now I'm satisfied.
We had to take a stand, fight the causes of fear, and conquer them. And while we waited, sure of final victory, we could learn to live with that fear.
It's lots of fun to roam, but when we do a cleanup job, we'd better start at home.